June is National PTSD Awareness Month, and today is PTSD Screening Day. So joining us to talk more about this is Dr. Charletta, a medical director at Priority Health. Doctor, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
So I think we've all heard of PTSD, but what exactly is post-traumatic stress disorder?
Well, post-traumatic stress disorder is actually an anxiety disorder. It is classified as a mental illness, and it actually can be brought about by things like near-death experiences or events that may seem like they're going to cause death, and people who are either exposed to these events directly or have family members who have been exposed to them, or they witness them, they actually can develop PTSD.
So what are the symptoms?
Some symptoms can include things like avoidant type behavior, so they want to stay away from places, things, or objects that remind them of that traumatic experience. Also, people can have mood or cognitive disturbances, so they can have some irritability, they can feel very low, depressed, isolated. They also can have trouble remembering things that happened during that event. Sometimes also they can have reliving or re-experiencing of the events. This can come by way of either nightmares or even daytime like flashbacks.
Yeah, so let's talk about treatment. What do you do for somebody with PTSD?
It really depends on how severe their symptoms are. We want to take a whole approach. So you want to make sure that they're seeing a therapist. You also want to make sure that the medications that they're on are treating their symptoms, but you also want to make sure that the diagnosis is actually brought about by a professional. So we want to make sure that people are being seen by licensed professionals.
What is that screening process like? If somebody is maybe afraid to go in, talk about that screening process.
Well, it's a couple of things. You want to take a look at what let's back up. You want to understand what experience brought about the symptoms. You want to make sure the things that relate to the symptoms, how are they impacting the person's life? Is it making them have problem at work, have problems at school, whatever the case is? You want to take a look at what the symptoms are and what experience brought about those symptoms.
So there are a lot of people who have this in the U.S. This is not something that just a few people have. We're talking about millions of people. How do we support people around us who may have PTSD?
Well, you want to make sure that people are aware that treatment is available for PTSD. Specifically in Priority Health, we are committed to helping improve the health and lives of the members that we serve and the communities. So what we do, we like to educate our members, our employers about mental health issues. Specifically, we do have 24-hour care available for all of our members and the community at large.
Very good to know. Dr. Charletta, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.